A little update on the BDST project. Good evening, YouTube. It is about 8:40 in the evening. Here with you. It is on a Tuesday night. I did the work on the Panasonic. Got that all wrapped up today, and been listening to it while I played with this. This is one of the first boards I built for the signal tracer. I just wanted to see, trying to work on placement for the switches and pots, things like that. You can see there I have this. Put it together like this to see what it looks like. There you go. That's what mine are going to look like. Bob seems to think we should put his little diagram with the kit, and if they want to build it that way, they can, or if they want to drill this out and do this, they can too. What I think I'm going to do is provide, I have two beta testers that I have chosen, and he has two that he has chosen, and I'm going to let his do his way, and I'm going to do mine my way. When they get the kit from me, it will have the necessary webbing here, or what do you want to call it, to hold the speaker in and provide a grill for the speaker. And I think that's to me the best way to do it, because it's held in there solid as a rock, and you can get to the soldering terminals there. It's not a problem, and it's nice and secure in there. It can't move, and like I said, it lets the sound through, I think. And so that's my way of doing it. And like I said, his beta testers will get his. Let them drill the holes and do whatever they want to do as far as the way they want to mount it. So that's that. Like I said, I wanted to build this one to get some placement for the speakers. Now my idea is to either have it set in like this or like this. Now this is based on most people being right-handed. You get your pot adjustment here, your switches are going to be up here, and you know, everything's going to be handy to get to right-handed. Now I guess if you were left-handed, this would be the best way, but you know, I don't know, because I think what we do when we do this, these are going to be pre-drilled with the holes for the switches, and the switches, not the switch, but the couple of items may be mounted on the board, like your power connector and your input. So if they are, they will probably come out here and here, and your pot will still mount in the middle here, and maybe the on-off switch here. I don't know yet, but that's the plan. So that's what we're looking at. But anyway, that's what I've been fooling around with this today, trying to get an idea. Now what happens when you build this? You want this to lay like this. Of course your pot will be in there, and then when you can wire all this, your wires will already be on the board. You just wire up your switches and everything to that, and then you know, it's you just lay it over here and screw it together, and it's pretty much done. So I think that's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. I think I'll get a copyright hit on that. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Let me get some more stuff done, and I'll bring you back, and we'll see how this is coming out. Good evening, YouTube. It is about 8 minutes after 7 here on a Friday evening. I did the video earlier where I was out in the car and showed the parts and things like that. I've talked to Bob since then and told him I was sending those parts to him, and he said that's fine. He's developing the correct jig for testing purposes, and those will be tested, and if there are suitable ones to use, we will use them. If not, we'll try to get my money back from them. That's the best thing. Anyway, back on the signal tracer just briefly. I had wanted to do this the other night, and I got sidetracked doing, you know, everything else. This is the BNC connector. Now, this is not going to be a problem after this version. I'm not going to go into why or anything like that, but for this one, I want to put it here, and that's so that I can set this way, I can set it this way, or I can set it that way. It will work any way that I wanted to set it, and that way it's down low. The probe is probably going to be the I won't say the largest, but I'll say the most strain on the case, moving it around, things like that. So I want it down low, and any position I want it the same way. Now if it's up this way, it's not going to matter, because the base would be stable then. No matter what you do, it's going to be pretty stable down like that. So, but also that is going to be there, and when the new power switches come in, I've selected some new power switches that won't take up as much room, I don't think, and they will be push button, and that will be mounted over on this side. So basically we'll have the volume control, the input for the probe, and the power switch here. And we've already got the AF and RF switch on the side, and this just happens to be a double pole double throw, but they will be switched to single pole double throw. And also, now the biggest question I have right now is, where do I put the power coming in? Regardless of whether this is powered by a battery or by AC adapter, there has to be a jack here and a connector and whatever the power is, if it's the battery or the AC adapter, whatever. So I think this side is our best bet, being as at least on this one I'm trying to keep this side open. You know, again, this is just for versatility from my standpoint. I think it's the best. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to drill a hole here as soon as I find out what size it's got to be. And that, again, is where the on-off switch will go. I do believe this will be the area for the power, right up in here. Now, I said here, it's going to be actually here, because if you look at the inside of this, your circuit board is going to be right there, so I can't very well put it right there. Now again, this is the only version that's going to have to worry about that, and again I'll show you about that later. But when we put these in here, that's going to put the probe here on this side, about this angle, or about this depth is where it'll be. So it'll be well away from everything, but I'm going to keep it down to bottom too, keep it away from the circuit board altogether. And the same thing with the on-off switch will be over here, and again away from the board. And there's a good little space here to put in. I'm also thinking about putting in the center a LED, because the push button's not going to be any kind of indication that it's on. And you know, I really kind of want some kind of indication that it's on. That's neither here nor there. It's something I'm just thinking about. Like I said, that puts everything down here. That will put the power here. I'd say right here is about the best spot for it. It's out of the way of the circuit board. There's no components there. The only thing there is the speaker connections, but there'll be wires going into the board. That's not going to be anything to do with that. So I suppose it could be put here, because the power connection comes in here. I don't know. I'm thinking about this. I'm trying to work this all out to where I can get this done, write up the instructions, and be done with this part of it. And that's just another step, you know, that you have to do to get this stuff done. So there's our volume control. It will be wired into the circuit board here, and like I said, oh, here it is down here. This will have a ground lug on it. I didn't put it on yet because I haven't done any wiring to it. But so that's what we're doing, or what I'm doing. So I'm going to do that, get that done real quick, and put that in and see how that works out. So stay tuned. Alright, well there you go. There's what it's going to look like. I just stuck that connector on there just to see what it was going to be. I don't have it tight enough to even get the connector off now. Anyway, I'll have to tighten it up, but once I get it tight, it'll be alright. I just want to make sure there's plenty of room for the you know, cable to go on there and not stick down below that, which it doesn't. So that should work well. Happy about that. Again, the on-off switch will be just about the same spot on this side. And I may go ahead and even measure that and see. But I need to find out what the depth, or not the depth, but the, because I don't think the depth's going to be, it doesn't matter even if it comes all the way down, because that's going to be an open space there. Let me show you how that looks. You can see when I put it equal there where it's supposed to go, it's going to come out down in the this area here. So the same thing on this side with the other one. So that will be plenty of room there for that. Now my not my fear, but my concern is about the cable. Now I don't know if we can use twisted wire on that. I don't see why not. Coming from this to the circuit board, and right there is where it's got to go. So that should not be a problem. But then I think most of the stuff's going to be on this side. In other words, when this is laid out, let me get this tight in here so I can get this piece off. There we go. Now when this is laid out this way, this is exactly the way it's going to be mounted, I think. I don't guess it really would matter though. It could go the other way as well, I guess. You know, when we actually do the soldering, whether it's onto here, or I think it probably will be onto these things. In other words, the wires will be attached to the circuit board first, and then run over to whatever it connects to. In fact, these probably won't even be mounted at that time. Same with this. But like I said, in other words, it's going to have this much space so we can lay it down and do the wiring. Again, with the speaker, same thing. Now it's going to come all the way over here, so it's going to be a little long, but the wires for this will be really small, as in small diameter, so that's not a big problem there. And but these wires for the switch will come over here and go into the switch connections here. And like I said, this stuff will be wired before this is all attached or anything else, because it can be you know, all attached at the same time. And it's just the wires that come over to the upper side that are not on this piece of case is the ones I have to worry about. Now I wish I could get all this on here. That would be even better. But I can't put it at the bottom because that's where it's going to be sitting. In fact, if you look at that, I started to drill on the bottom of that, and I caught myself in time. But like I said, I did start a hole there, so I don't know why I was thinking, but I guess I kept thinking that was where that was going. But yeah, obviously it's not. Now that could have been a little bit lower than that. It's not a great deal. It's not going to matter any as far as where the wires go and things like that. There's still plenty of room there. Like I said, if you put that even with that, you can see that's right in the middle of that, really. So that's perfect. Perfect. And like I said, the on-off control switch will be the same way. So that's gonna do that. Like I say, the speaker will be up here, out of the way. It's gonna fit together, I think, pretty good. I don't see any particular problem. Now, I don't know if I mentioned or not, but we do have the screws on order for the case and for the circuit board. So now they're not going to be these. These are computer screws that I had were just about the right size, but these are not actually going to be the ones we use. So we'll show you those when they arrive. And so anywho, now this is one of the ones that I have in there wrong, probably because this is the same one that Bob used, and he said it didn't work that way. So this is going to have to be removed and turned around, either that or it could, if it tests as an NPN, it may be right. I don't know. It just depends. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But anyway, that's about it. I think that's going to do me for this time. Like I say, I'm going to go in there or not go in there. I'm going to look on my phone. I've been doing a lot more with my phone here lately on the internet because of the way it screws up on the computer so much. And it's not too bad, I guess. I can make do all right. But we were looking at an alternative for mounting this speaker. Bob has me convinced that we should not do this. Now, it does hold the speaker in good, and it's not that expensive because this stuff was practically free. Biggest cost here would be the screws, and I just used what I had on hand. We'd have to buy them for it, obviously. But, you know, this holds it in there perfectly, and it's got a grill to it. So, you know, I just kind of look at it like this is a good solution. I mean, it's not perfect, but with a speaker that has no mounting to it, you know, I'm looking at avoiding hot glue to mount that, and that's what Bob's been doing with the ones with his holes in there. And I'm going to basically leave that up to whoever gets buys this, is whether you want to use the holes that Bob drills, or you want a hole like this and, you know, go with something like that, maybe a piece of screen, whatever. But I want something to mount that, regardless, I want something to mount that speaker in there better. Now these screws going closer to the speaker might do it. You know, that's one of the things I'm going to think about. And I've got another 4 sets of places I can put them. I mean, as far as I could try to drill holes here and here and here and do that, which I might do. And you know, it's just this is what I'm concerned with. I don't know how concerned Bob is, but I just wanted to, you know, I just don't think hot glue is the way to go. You know, I think something that can be taken apart is better, in my way of thinking. So, you know, all right, well, that's going to do me this time around YouTube. I'm going to head out and do some other stuff. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching, and we will see you.